you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest gas?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Butte.
What's up, Brian Deegan?
Vaughn Ginn Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, Rigid Industries, Dirtfish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR Indy car? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys even learned to ride, Amy Houde.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Amy Houde, like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde, coming at you once again this week like we do every week. And I know I was up and busy in the woods of Oregon doing a little Rally America radio, hosting some live stream for them. And definitely good times. We got a lot to talk about with that Rally America event. Yet another shootout with Travis Pastrana, David Higgins. Oh, man, coming down to seconds. Amy, I got to tell you, these rally guys racing over 3 days, coming down to seconds. I mean, we're talking like Supercross seconds here. Like, I mean, tenths of a second. I mean, it's crazy. Over 3 days of racing, tenths of a second determining stages. Just nuts.
That's insane. I wouldn't want to be tenths of a second away from another vehicle racing. Like, you know, it's different when it's a dirt bike.
Yeah.
But with a car, like, that'd be a little sketchy. I'm guessing there's a lot of pretty cool battles going on out there. So.
Yeah. For sure. So we got all that and a whole lot more. We got Ryan Beat. He's calling into the show. My Gibson Exhaust teammate, Ryan Beat. We're going to talk a little short course. He took a podium this weekend at Lake Elsinore. And we got some fan questions coming at you, some podium interviews from David Higgins, Travis Pastrana. And those fan questions, be sure and hit us up at JimBeaver15, at Amy Houde 71, and get them rolling into the show. Also, Joe Duncan calling in here to kick off hour number 2. So all that and more here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Just getting things started here this week, and I got to say, man, I'm up there in Oregon this weekend, and doing some live streams, some radio, and what you guys got to know about Amy and I is, you do radio long enough and you become really, really good, close friends. And not only that, but you become fans of each other. I mean, I'm, the biggest Amy Houde fan there is and, wave the flag and everything. So, and I'm up there. And so I start getting texts from you of your bike and then you on crutches. And I'm like, holy crap, what happened? So I'm sure everybody out there is wondering because they all follow you on social media. What the heck happened this weekend, Houde?
Well, I mean, if you watched my latest episode of the Babe Cave that dropped yesterday on my YouTube channel, check out youtube.com/OneLifeAmy, or you can also search Babe Cave, how to load your bike. So we've been getting a lot of fan feedback on things tips and tricks of things that people want to see, and one that kept popping up all the time was how to load your bike. But I kind of started off with a little intro on what happened on the weekend, and in Canada, we have wild Canadian polar bears, and I don't actually want to tell the real story because I just feel like Big Joe because it was such a beginner move that happened. But, I got a new bike. I'm kind of testing it out. It's a little bit different than my Honda. There's some weird things that kind of, you're on a new ride. Things are going to be different. It's all about kind of learning about the bike and really getting a good feel to it. So I was kind of just flowing on the track. Like I wasn't really overly focused and trying to go as hard as I possibly can. I'm really struggling with arm pump this year. So I kind of went out on the track and just was like trying to be all loosey-goosey and just like, ride the ruts and just be more like have this flow going on. Well, apparently I was not concentrating. And I went over a tabletop, and like I said in the video, it completely wasn't me. It was this wild polar bear came up and jumped and hit my bike into neutral going over tabletop, and I endoed. I tried to save it, but I was coming up a little bit too short. It's going to land on the downside. My front tire landed on the knuckle of the landing, and then I proceeded to do the whole scorpion, like legs to the back of the head. But then, which is usually the worst thing to happen, and you're always hoping because you can't really tell where the bike is in the air, but the bike hit me after, and it was pretty gnarly. And motocross today, we are very, very lucky as athletes to have as amazing protective gear as we have, because the neck brace, my knee braces in particular, totally saved my legs, and my neck brace, I mean, I got some gnarly whiplash, but, I walked away from everything, and I just got x-rays yesterday. My hip was kind of pissing me off, so I'm hoping that everything's okay, but it's just mostly the right side, down the whole right side of my body. But because of my knee braces, I got so hard in the leg, it must have pinched a nerve in my leg, and so I can't even put pressure on it. But at the end of the day, I'm totally fine. I can walk and everything. I just look like I got hit by a school bus or, a 200-pound piece of metal dirt bike. So, yeah, it sucks. It's the name of the game, but man, motocross is hard on your body.
Well, I mean, you're having arm pump issues this year. I mean, you people see, I've seen your arms. I mean, you're not freaking huge mammoth guns, but I mean, you've worked on your arms. I mean, damn, there's some definition there. You're really having some arm pump issues?
Yeah, and actually I'm super excited. I just got a direct message from Forearm Pump. It's a new product out there. And, you know, it's like the angels heard my calls or something. But, you know, I've been struggling so hard this year with Arm Pump. It's, you know, Arm Pump kind of stems from your shoulders. Everything is all connected, and I have had shoulder surgery on my left side, and then my right side has been always overcompensating. So it's really because of the weakness in my shoulders and probably my back that, you know, you get Arm Pump. It really has nothing to do with your arms and a little bit to do with circulation, all that kind of stuff. But I got this new product that they're sending me, and I'm going to be doing a product testimonial and tutorial on the Babe Cave probably as soon as I get the product, hopefully this week. But, yeah, I'm excited to try it. Every pro rider, like Ken Roxton, Cole Seeley, a lot of the big the AMA sport bike racer dudes, they're using this stuff. Like, it looks like a really cool product. And, I mean, if people like Ken Roxton are repping it, I'll buy it because, I mean, Ken Roxton just won Supercross this weekend. So anything that he promotes, I want to promote and I want to try out. So I'm super stoked to try this product, and I can't wait to tell you guys how it works. But, yeah, I'm kind of feeling a little rough today and yesterday, but every day gets a bit better. So yeah. I'm hoping that I can be back in full force in 2 weeks, because my first race of the year is not this weekend, but next weekend at my favorite track in Minnedosa, and I plan to kick some serious moto butt. So, yeah.
Well, you'll have to keep me in the loop on the Forearm Pump, because I've actually seen that. I'm super familiar with the product, and I saw.
Know.
I think Ken posted up something a while back, you know, him using it or something. But seriously, I mean, you know, you get in a 500-mile desert race, and you know, and holding a steering wheel, you know, it's not quite like, you know, being lifting the bars and going through a whoop section, but you know what I mean. You use, you know, your forearms a ton. So I was just curious on the thing because it was something I looked at and I go, man, I wonder if this thing would cross over to auto racing, what I do, you know, a bit. But shoot, I
know what? And that's the thing. Like, if you go take a look at it's Forearm_Pump on Instagram, you can see just a list of all these athletes in different industries and sports using this product, and a lot of them being obviously motorsports, but it's not just motocross or people on two wheels. Go take a look, Jim. It's really, really cool. But again, wait till I get this product. I'll give you my own personal recommendation, whether it's a yay or a nay, because it's something I struggle with. And being a smaller girl, and you know, the fact that I work out very regularly, it's hard. I can't figure out why I get arm pump all the time. And every year it's a little bit different because, you know, I take a good 4 or 5 months off in the wintertime, so I have a little bit of, you know, the butterflies and cobwebs to dust off my first couple rides of the year. But my arm pump's never been as significant as it has been this year, so I'm just looking for a couple other options. But I have this weird thing that I feel like if I eat a banana before I ride, they say potassium helps reduce arm pump, but I have this weird ritual that I have to eat a banana every time before I ride. I don't know why.
See, I do. Yeah, it's funny you say that because I hate bananas, but I'm big. I hate bananas, but potassium. I actually take every morning a potassium pill just to help with cramps and stuff like that in the race car. Because bananas, potassium for athletes, it's huge. Because I know, like me, like you guys talk about forearm pump, desert racers. So most race cars, like you're talking, road racing, auto racing, they got pedal boxes. Pedals are on the floor and stuff like that. Well, in off-road, we're so abusive and we take so many hits. Your left brake foot, normally we have a footrest there, and you actually push yourself back into the seat and it holds you in because we're such an abusive motorsport. So when I have to brake, our brake pedal is elevated off the floor, and that's because we get brush and rocks and stuff in there, and you don't want it to jam up the pedal, right, or get anything wedged back there. So our pedals are elevated. So to hit the brake pedal, you actually have to lift your leg off the floor, put it on the brake, and push it down, right? So with me, you get in a really tight technical section, and say it's 30, 45 miles, and it's gas, brake, gas, brake, gas, brake. I'm literally holding my left foot in the air for 30, 45 minutes at a time. And so my thigh and my hamstring, it'll start to cramp up. I mean, just sit in your chair and hold your leg up for 45 minutes. You're going to start to develop cramps, right? So potassium,
that's like when I was ice racing, when we did short course, like oval, because literally the course is so short and you stretch your left leg out the whole time. I couldn't even, my endurance was totally fine. My leg would cramp up before anything else. Like, it was weird. It was a weird experience.
It's just funny we're talking about this. There's such weird oddities that you go through, athletes, and I'm sure, it's funny. It doesn't matter what. There's something for everyone. I mean, if you're a pole vaulter, there's probably some weird muscle you use there that no other athlete in the world uses.
Exactly.
It's just,
I know. And it's funny with motocross, they call this thing the BRAP muscle. And I remember when I was younger, like, all the kids would compare their BRAP muscle, and that's, like, on your throttle hand. When you're turning, like, your throttle, you have this one little muscle that kind of pops up on your forearm. But it's funny because I feel like the pro riders have a bigger BRAP muscle because they ride a lot longer. But I just remember, like, as a kid, we would compare BRAP muscles. I mean, it's the thing in motocross. It's what you do.
Oh, geez. All right. We're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde, we still got lots more to come. When we come back from the break, we got some podium interviews with David Higgins, Travis Pastrana, some Rally America talk, all that and more on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, just having a little bit of fun, man. I got to tell you, this radio show, and I love what fans, the fan questions and things like that. And you guys have been really amazing the past 3 or 4 years to just kind of let the show take its own take its own direction. And, I know when I started out, it was like really, really serious. It's like, we got to only talk motorsports and, and we have to have everything in strict schedule and motorsports. We can't talk about anything. And now, it's become where we still talk motorsports. I mean, that's what we are. We're a motorsports radio show, action motorsports radio show. But, aside from that, I mean, you especially with Amy coming in, we get to talk about everyday life here and there and kind of bring you into what we do and some of our programs. And, and I appreciate that. You guys, most of the time we get some amazing feedback from you listeners. I mean, I've got some fan questions that are great that we're going to answer later on. But, not only that, you guys get to know a little bit about us. I love hearing from you guys on social media. I feel like I've got to know a lot of the, the listeners and to the show and and meet you guys out at events. So it's really been pretty special for me to be able to meet all you guys and, and connect that way. But if you ever need anything or whatever, always feel free to drop me a line and, love hearing from you guys. But right now we're going to kickstart our Dirtfish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. Don't forget Mother's Day, Father's Day coming up at Dirtfish, and now would definitely be a time to get your significant other or your mom or your dad, a fun trip to Dirtfish. Men, women, all ages, all skill levels. Everybody has a good time at Dirtfish. Great seeing my Dirtfish family up there at the Oregon Trail Rally as well. And, that being said, Oregon Trail Rally was the big rally of the weekend. And I don't know where that came from. That was just me rambling on about nothing. But, Rally America, Oregon Trail Rally, 3 days of racing. Things to kick off at PIR, Portland International Raceway. Then they move out onto the stages, running some in both Washington and in Oregon. And David Higgins, Travis Pastrana, second rally in a row. Absolute shootout. I mean, a shootout for the win. Flip-flopping the lead within tenths of a second on a lot of stages. Even when somebody have a bad stage, they were within a few seconds of each other. In Oregon Trail Rally, they brought in some hill climb stages on tarmac, and you never see that in in U.S. Rally. Tarmac stages up a hill. It was amazing. So Higgins and Pastrana went down to the wire. David Higgins getting the best of Travis Pastrana, but just barely, man. It was definitely a hard fought battle for Higgins. Wasn't able to cinch things up until the last stage. Really, I mean, Pastrana still in the hunt up until the last stage. So it was definitely a solid event. Loved being out there, but we're going to talk more about it here in just a minute. But right now, I was able to, at the finish, catch up with both David Higgins, Travis Pastrana, and grab some interviews from them. So we're going to air those interviews and talk more about the rally after we air these. All right, catching up here with Travis Pastrana. We're here at the finish of Oregon Trail Rally, and I got to tell you, man, it was a nail-biter through and through the whole way, and great battle between you and David.
It's awesome. Just to say that, great battle between me and David. That's something I've always wanted to have. This it's great having this new car with the Subaru. These guys have really gone all out with it. We couldn't have driven better today for us. I think Christian and I were spot on. It's just David and Craig are better. We're going to work on it. We're going to come back next round and give them hell again.
Well, I think you as a driver, I know, up until the season, you've been doing a lot of rally. Last year it was, hit and miss a couple of events, and have you here back, kind of part-time, full-time, it's great. It's got to feel good to you as a driver to be able to push at this limit now. It
really is, and it's really good. Feel really confident with Christian, and just the car from last year to this year, I feel a lot more confident. It's a just great improvement. So, I got my work cut out for me, but we're going to keep working.
Any idea? I know you've got a lot of obligations in Nitro Circus the rest of this year. Any idea when we're going to see you back behind the wheel?
Yeah, well, we'll be at STPR, so really excited about that. I don't think I'll be able to make New England Forest Rally, but hopefully make the rest after that. So really looking forward to LSPR and finishing up the season, getting my notes a little bit better, and just trying to chip away. It's pretty awesome to be in the hunt, and I really feel like for the first time we're giving this guy a run for his money.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Travis, and congrats.
I appreciate it.
All right, we got David Higgins here, just finishing up Oregon Trail Rally, and I got to tell you, man, a heck of a battle, but you came out on top. You got to be really happy.
Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted. This is my 8th rally from 8 goes. I've won this one now, so it's a kind rally for me. It's a long way from home, but it's one that if you can win it, it makes that flight home much easier. But fair play to Travis. It's been an unbelievable battle all weekend, and we've had some. It's been tough to clean roads and try and push hard, but like the last few, it's just been complete sort of balls to the wall, full bore, and just big attack. And the last but one stage, Travis took a second and a half back out of us. So, we knew the gap was only small going into that last one, so we had to step up the game a little bit more again, and came good with the win. So absolutely delighted for the team to get a 1-2, and I think it probably puts us both up to joint first in the championship as well. So if you want a good team battle, then there's one on the cards now. Yeah, and it's gotta be exciting for you. I know there for a while it's touch and go with other entries coming in, and the 2 rallies in a row to have it come down to second's got to be pretty exciting as a driver. Yeah, it's what we do it for. We want the close competition, and we want the battles, and Brian Bouffier being here as well adds some extra spice. He's a world class driver that everybody knows his pace, so having him here as well just shows what the level of the top cars are going in Rally America. So it's awesome to do that, but there's times like today when Travis started rallying, I was a driver coach and taught him, and there's days like this where you wish that maybe you weren't quite as good at your day job. All right, thanks a lot, David, and congrats on the win, my friend. Thank you very much. All right, that was Travis Pastrana and David Higgins there at the finish of the Oregon Trail Rally. And, sorry, in those interviews, man, it was windy as all get out. I mean, it was ridiculously windy. But we're supposed to have rain over 3 days. Didn't get a drop of rain, but a ton of wind rolling in. And, there you go. But looking at final results, it was David Higgins by about 9 seconds over Travis Pastrana. Brian Bouffier from Europe, he came over and had a solid effort there, third outright. Looking at the two-wheel drives, man, you talk about the open class battle, but Cameron Steele, Ryan Millen had a battle there the whole way. Steele actually had Millen by about, 14, 15 seconds, something like that. Going into last stage, 5 miles left. Steele, solid lead, got a flat. And Ryan Millen and his fiancée Christina Fate able to snake by them and take the victory by, it looks like, about 10 seconds. So it was pretty gnarly, man. It was such a good rally, though. This is one of my favorites on the calendar. Just a great mix of roads, and it was just a good time. Looking at super production, man, this is an interesting one. Jeff Seahorn, I guess technically had the best time, but after the event, they look, they do, post-race tech inspection, and he was found that his restrictor was we're talking like millimeters off, being too large, and so he got penalized, moved down to second. Matt Bazinski, I'm sure I'm butchering that, but sorry, Matt, but I need to ask somebody how to say that. But he ended up taking the super production win. Solid effort by him, man. Not super familiar with him. I believe he's from the Northwest up there in that area, though, and great to see him there. Hopefully we see him at Olympus here in a few weeks as well. But Jeff Seahorn getting moved down to second, and then looking at B-Spec, it was once again that Honda Fit just dialed in there of Jordan Guitar, same car that James Robinson drove last year, and to a championship. So they took that. Keon Erickson Chang second in B-Spec, and those are kind of your national results. Thanks to all of you guys for all right, we're getting Benchevsky. All right, Benchevsky. I'm getting corrected by our good friends on Twitter. Mike Shaw over there at Oregon Wings. He runs Open Paddock website and podcast. Definitely worth checking it out. I know this week they'll have you dialed in with more Oregon Trail Rally. This is his home event as well. But I'm glad somebody corrected me on that. I had no idea how to pronounce that name. It was awesome event. One of my favorites on the calendar. I've told anybody, if you're going to go out to a Rally America event, you got to pick one. This is definitely one that needs to be on your list. I'd say New England Forest Rally and maybe STPR.
If I had to pick a top 3 out of the 8, but I mean, it's just an amazing event. They do an amazing job. The local. Local promoters there, and it's definitely a fan favorite. We were able to do a little bit of live stream for Rally America, so thanks to all you guys who tuned in. I was crazy impression-wise. I think over the live streams we did, we were over like 200,000 impressions on Facebook. Now, we didn't have that many actual viewers, but he says, our good friend Mike Shaw, he says, to be fair, it took me 2 to 3 events before I got it pronounced correctly. All right, I don't feel so bad on this one, Mike. That's what I love about Twitter, man. Our fans and listeners, and always keeping me honest here. So always a good thing. But yeah, no, we were able to do some live stream. I know a lot of you hit me up afterwards. Hey, are we going to do more of that? Are you guys going to do more of that? And it's all about the internet reception. I know the one that we did out on the stages, it was on the tarmac stages. I was literally in a tree trying to climb and get a little bit of service, and it was popping in and out. And I know it wasn't in the best place, but honestly, there was officials there that wouldn't let me get on certain areas of the stage. So the view, the vantage point wasn't great. We were able to move a bit, but it is what it is, man. We're trying with Rally America to do the best we can, and that's where we're at. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Ryan Beat going to be on the air talking Lucas Oil Off-Road here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When RJ Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP 1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for. No fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners, and for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here. We got Ryan Beat on the line. How's everything going, Ryan?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing solid, my friend. I guess it's been, I don't know, what was it, last year sometime we had you on air? I was trying to think when the last time we had you dialed in for an interview was.
Yeah, I think it was sometime last year. I think right after the Vegas race.
Yeah, nice. Take us through the weekend. We got Amy chiming in here now. I know she was MIA there for a few minutes, but what's going on, man? I know you took a podium this weekend, and you didn't even know that you were going to be able to get at this event, right? You had surgery like a month or so back, right?
Yeah, actually, from the time I took it back 4 weeks previously, 4 weeks earlier, I was in surgery. I had a little accident unloading the race truck out of the top of the semi, and I fell off the semi and shattered my foot. And
no way. Not even a race accident. Oh, no.
Nope, not on a dirt bike, not racing, nothing cool. No cool stories, just lame, unloading the truck and fell off the semi.
Well, that's why you gotta, make something funny and cool. Like I, used the Canadian polar bear this weekend for my dumb accident. You gotta spice up that story a little bit.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you and Ronnie Feist, dude, you guys are buddies, and Feist's a good friend of ours. You guys come up with some story. You got to come up with a crazy story. We need to get you back on after you think up a story. I mean, we all know the truth now. It's like, you got to have a good story behind it.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, so we're just unloading the truck and unfortunately fell off and, shattered my foot. So I went to Dr. Murphy and ended up having to put 16 screws and 3 plates in my foot to get it to the point where I told him I had to race in 4 weeks, and he's like, all right, we'll do everything we can.
That's crazy. I mean, that's 4-week turnaround. That's just wow. I'm mind blown because normally that's at least 6 to 8 weeks, right?
Yeah, he told me basically it was a 12-week turnaround time, and I'm like, well, that's not going to work for me. I got to be back in the truck in 4 weeks because I got a championship. I got to try to chase in this pro light class. So between him and then I went over and saw Dr. G. Went to him 3 days a week for physical therapy, and he's pretty notorious with all the motocross guys and getting those guys back going quick. So went and saw him, and just been on it trying to heal up.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, obviously, things worked out all right. Taking podium this weekend. I mean, that's like we said before, man. Pro Light, it's a tough class. I mean, stack field. I know Deegan brought out the Pro Light, right, to go bang doors to you boys again.
No, actually, Deegan was just kind of joking, and he put
he?
something on social media. He didn't actually end up coming out in Pro Light, but yeah, that class is packed. There's a lot of good guys. I think the top 10 guys can win at any time. So it's you really got to be on your game. Before, probably a couple of years ago, you could probably be 10% off on your setup and still podium. Now, I think if you're 2 to 3% off, you're not winning. You're not on the podium. So you really got to have your stuff together.
Yeah, well, and a class is kind of crazy. I mean, we've talked about it, on this show before, but you've got such a mix in that class of veterans like you, that have done a lot of racing, and Twitch is in there, and then you've got some of the younger kids, that are really talented coming in and trying to make a name for themselves, and then you've got the squirrels thrown in that nobody has any idea what they're doing out there, but they're like moving chicanes, and they make it quite interesting for you guys who are actually out there racing,
Yeah, it's like when you go to a practice day at Glen Helen and it's National Practice Day and you throw in the beginners that want to go out there and ride with the pros. So it makes it interesting. It's everybody's got to get out there and have their fun, but it makes it tough for some of us that are out there to get a job done, and that is to win. So we're out there trying to do the best we can, and unfortunately, it happens where sometimes some of the slower guys try to get a little racy and end up costing you time or parts and equipment because they don't usually have as much control, so they can sometimes get in you and hurt you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and one thing I've always, I said, guys like you, I can appreciate because I'm there myself, but, you're a guy that, doesn't come from a ton of money, and it's, it's not, a silver spoon race program and stuff like that. You're always out there hustling for sponsors, and, every dime that comes into your program has a purpose. It's not like you're, you've got excess money just to throw around, and that's one thing I've always, I've always appreciated about you is, you do a great job of representing your sponsors, and, and you're out there. It's a grind for you every every year to get funded to go race, and you're living the dream, So I've always, tip of the cap to you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. If, obviously it takes sponsors to do this sport. It's not a cheap sport to do, but, with the help of Rockstar Energy, Lunar Pages, Maxis, Gibson, Rigid, all those guys, Ram Mounts. If it wasn't for those guys, I wouldn't be out there, to be honest. Luckily, they helped me with the funding part of it, and I worked my butt off working on the truck, and, the guys from Racer Services have really stepped up and helped me, get this truck up to par with Jeff Frana, to where each weekend we go out, and we've been fast, man. I'm excited for the rest of this year.
Yeah. That being said, the rest of this year, obviously you got 2 rounds down now, and it seems like the first one, it's like it's an unknown. You go into the same thing with Supercross. It's like A1 at Anaheim. Nobody really knows what the heck's going to happen. It's like who's bringing what this year? Nobody really knows. You guys are 4 rounds down now, 2 weekends in. I mean, what have you guys figured out? As far as 2016 goes?
Yeah, it's just I think we figured out that, kind of we did our homework during the off season. I tested a bunch and did as much homework and hired the best people I could hire into my program and really helped me. I don't feel like in past years we've been off, but we were just missing, 5 to 10%. And I think that's really where Racer Services and Jeff Frana really came in to really help me with that extra little bit, prepare and be up to speed. I always knew that I had the speed and the capability, but, me and my dad building our truck out of the garage, we only knew what we knew. We'd never really been, we came from motocross, my dad came from sprint cars, so we knew what we knew, but it wasn't, off-road stuff. So we're still kind of on the learning curve, but we're having a lot of fun doing it, and luckily we've had some really good results over the past couple of years, so hopefully we can continue it and start looking towards possibly going into Pro 2 here in the near future.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question. Obviously, at this point, a couple of podiums this weekend, and you guys, the program is pretty dialed. I know the elusive championship is still escaped you, but you're definitely well on your way this year to making a run for that. But that was my next question. When are we possibly going to see you move up to Pro 2? So that's definitely in the plans the next year or two.
Yeah, we're talking about it. I definitely would like to do another year of Pro Light. I love this class. It's a lot of fun. It's very challenging. I think this class is more challenging than probably, Pro 2 at this point. Pro 2, you got 5 guys that can win, maybe 6. Pro Light, you got 10 to 12 guys at any given time that can win. So it's really competitive, and it's fun. It keeps you on your toes, and if you can wheel a Pro Light, I think you can pretty much wheel anything. I've had the experience to get and the chance to get in a Pro 2 and race Pro 2 and Pro 4 at one time, so I look forward to doing it again, but, for right now we're focusing on Pro Light, and then, in the meantime of focusing on Pro Light, we're going to start assembling a Pro 2 and, doing some testing and trying to figure out if that's the route we want to go. Obviously, funding's a huge part of that, so I kind of basically just told myself that if it wasn't going to be funded properly, I didn't really want to do it, just because I know how much it takes,
Yeah, well, that was I forgot. You're reminding me. I forgot that was like 2 years back. I think the first time I ever had you on air was a couple years back, and that's when you pulled that Ironman, and you were like the only guy I think in history to run Pro Light, Pro 2, and Pro 4 all in the same race weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but it was a lot of fun. I contributed a lot of my success to that year of just getting lots of seat time, and learning to drive multiple trucks and different aspects of all the vehicles. That it really helped me. Yes, it was a lot of work and crazy, and by the end of the weekend, I was just wanted to sleep and crawl into a hole. But it wasn't a bad thing by any means. It was a lot of fun and great experience.
Yeah. That being said, I mean, obviously, you've got the short course program dialed in. I know you and I have talked. You'd love to get out desert racing. Anything else in the plans for you this year?
To be honest, I've been so just head to the grindstone with running my Pro Light program. I haven't really talked much about doing much other things. Of course, I'd like to get out and do some desert racing eventually and getting some desert stuff. But I keep looking towards rally. I'd like to try to get into rally at some point and have some fun there. I know it's a pretty cool thing. I know that seems to be getting some national exposure, so it might be something that we'll start looking at.
Yeah. Well, you ever want to go up to Dirtfish Rally School, man? I take trips up there all the time with groups. You're definitely more than welcome, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to go do it, man. Let me know next time you go.
Yeah, definitely. Well, how often do you? Obviously, the past month you've been MIA with your leg banged up and stuff like that. But how often you on a bike? I mean, I know obviously all your guys. I mean, Deegan and Feist and all that. They're on a bike all the time. I mean, how often is Ryan Beat on a bike?
Well, before this year, I tried to ride probably. I was riding probably 2-3 times a month, which probably isn't a whole lot compared to what I was doing, but. now that this truck stuff has kind of become my main focus, I try to ride, once a month, but not too much, just because I don't have the chance or time to get hurt, kind of like my foot, Unfortunately, I say that, I'm like, well, then I go and fall off a semi, but I try to keep it on all four wheels most of the time and not put myself in jeopardy of, there's a lot of people relying on me, all my crew guys and my sponsors that have made great investments into me. I don't want to be hurt for them,
You're not out of Deegan's, you're not out of Deegan's compound hitting the metal ramps or anything, right?
Nope, no more.
No more. Oh, nice. Nice. So, I think it's, fun to always catch up, man. It seems like it's about once a year we get to do this. We need to do it more often. But, how do you feel about Lucas, in general? Obviously you've been a guy that's dedicated to that series. Obviously, Torque the past couple of years has been, left and right and up and down, and nobody knows what to expect. I've heard good things coming this year. But, how do you feel about the health of short course in general? You're a guy that eats, sleeps, breathes this. This is your livelihood,
Yeah, it's I'll be honest, the past I'd say year and a half I've been really concerned and kind of contemplated maybe getting out of it at some point. But I think with the help of Richie Lewis and Lucas Oil really putting a lot of effort into the series and Greg Faust, I think they're kind of starting to turn things around. I hope that the sport can kind of keep growing in the direction it needs to start acquiring the fan base and the sponsors that we need to. And then, if not, hell, me and Casey Curry got a pretty good thing going on with Monster Jam. Where Casey's got the stadium truck racing going on at Monster Jams. It's been really cool, a lot of fun there. So there's multiple avenues for pro light racing, I think, right now. So that it's good. I think short course is growing. I think the fan base is awesome, and it's just going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah, you feel like it's getting easier to sell sponsorship for a short course truck, or harder? Obviously,
no, it's harder right now.
Is it?
I think every year it's gotten harder for me to keep selling sponsors, and I keep doing good. People are like, they're like, oh, it must be so easy, and I'm like, I'm doing good, and no, I'm struggling to get sponsors still. It's hard. It's tough right now. I don't know if it's the economy or the election coming up or what, and it just seems like it's kind of hard to get people to start spending money. It's hard to get these guys out to the races, when it's 110 degrees. So I think that's probably part of it too.
Yeah, well, and I know I've talked with a lot of guys. Ronnie and I were actually talking, and and here's a guy with I don't know how many X Games medals and everything else, and he struggled to find funding for his program and just running a handful of events here and there when he can afford it. And I'm like, if a guy like you and Ronnie Feist is struggling, it's got to be tough for the guys that that are just coming into it.
Yeah, exactly. I think at this point, if you don't have sponsors, it's got to be all private funded. Unfortunately, the sport isn't supporting, multi-million-dollar deals and isn't supporting Lowe's and Home Depot and people like that coming in. Yeah. So it's me and Ronnie talk probably 2 to 3 times a week about this subject of what we can do different, how we can change. And, for me and Ronnie, it's just kind of focusing on the Monster Jams with Casey Curry and running our Lucas program as best we can. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's we still got options. We can go back and run a couple torque races here and there. And I think with the support of Rockstar, they're really pushing for Lucas to continue to make it. So I think that Lucas is really pushing, as well to make the right changes needed. With where we're racing and the facilities we're racing at to really start drawing the crowd and the sponsors that we need in the sport.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Ryan. We got to cut to a short commercial break, but we'll definitely catch up later on this season. And good luck to you and continued success, buddy.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. And quick shout out to Rockstar Energy, Maxis, Lunar Pages, Gibson, Ram Mounts, Rigid Industries. Everybody that supports my program allows me to keep doing this.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
All right, you too. All right, we're going to take a short commercial break. We come back, talk a little NORRA Mexican 1000 and a little more Lucas Oil off-road here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
I'm Polaris rider Lee Valley, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at MTX.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The hotel is waiting, and your getaway is as close as Blue Water Resort and Casino's Spring Room Special, starting at just $54.95. You'll be steps away from hot slot machines, table games, bingo, restaurants, lounges, the Blue Water Marina, golf, and more. Lee Greenwood hits the stage in the amphitheater Saturday, February 27th. Book your room today at BlueWaterFun.com or call 888-243-3360. Rooms starting at just $54.95. Now at Blue Water Resort and Casino in Parker, Arizona. Available Sunday through Thursday, February 1st through April 30th, based on availability. Tax and resort fees are not included. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Excludes holidays, weekends, and special events.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, just getting done with Ryan Beat, my Gibson exhaust teammate, Ryan Beat. And I got to tell you, Ryan Beat, just a solid dude, man. Become a good friend of mine, and just a hustler. He's living the dream and making things happen, and that's what you got to do. You got to get your hands dirty. You got to get out there, and you got to fight for what you want. Life isn't going to hand it to you, and Ryan Beat is definitely a guy who's out there grinding it out, making stuff happen, and you got to respect that. Other events happening right now. We are knee-deep in the NORRA Mexican 1000. 5 out of 9 stages done, it looks like. I don't know, I guess we're 5/9 of the way through the event. But anyways, Troy Herbst, he's in that Truggy. He is out front in the Shark. Got Dave Westham, it looks like, in second. Greg DeStefano in third. Robert Acer in fourth. We're talking outright. And then Jim Bolt in the historic truck. He is sitting there in fifth. Steve Olage sixth outright. Roger Starkey, Kevin Reardon, Jonathan Brenthal, and John Gable rounding out your top 10 overall thus far. That is in the car and trucks. Looking up at the bikes. At the bikes, it is Ricky Johnson, RJ out front. We got Steve Grebe, Mark Jenkins. We're not talking tracks as Mark, and Christopher Hart, Ed Price. That is your 1 through 5 there on the bikes. It's going on the rest of this week, and we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to have some General Tire Lucas Oil off-road results on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde hanging out, and kind of run through some Lucas Oil off-road results here. These coming at you courtesy of our good friends at General Tire. But Pro Light, rounds 3 and 4 kicking off for all divisions. But Pro Light, it was Jarrett Brooks, Ryan Beat, Brandon Arthur, your 1, 2, and 3. In round number 3, looking at round number 4, it was Jarrett Brooks, Ryan Beat, and Brock Higger, your 1, 2, and 3. Pro Buggy, man, my computer's getting a little slow here. It was Garrett George, Taylor Atkinson, and Mike Valentine. And then looking at rounds number 4, maybe, it was Mike Valentine, Taylor Atkinson, Kevin McCullough. Sorry about that, man. Computer, I start talking, decides to get a little slow on you. But looking at Pro 4, and I got to tell you, things a bit different than last year when Kyle LeDuc running away with things. As B Money, Bryce Menzies, Carl Renazetter, and Doug Mittag, your 1, 2, and 3. And then moving up to round number 4 is Renazetter, Menzies, and Greg Adler, your 1, 2, and 3. Looking at Pro 2 results over the weekend, and it was Rob Mack, RJ Anderson, Brian Deegan. And then looking at rounds number 4, it was Bryce Menzies, Brian Deegan, and R.J. Anderson. And, Bryce and Bryce and Deegan, I guess, having a little drama, I guess, is the easiest way to put it this weekend. It was an interesting deal, I guess. Bryce, after the event, gave Brian a little rub in the door because Deegan had spun him out on course, and I guess Lucas didn't mind Deegan spinning Bryce out, but they did take offense to Bryce giving Deegan a little rub down after the event. So I don't know. I'm siding with Menzies on this one. I saw the video he posted. I mean, it was a blatant takeout by Deegan on Menzies. Menzies had every right to do a little retaliation rub after the event, as far as I'm concerned. But Lucas didn't see it that way. I guess Bryce Menzies disqualified, and the rest is history. So I don't know, man. It's we've talked about this before. There's been some questionable calls in Lucas in the past, and sure there will be going forward. Definitely glad I don't have that job. That is for sure. But we're going to take a short break. We come back. Joe Duncan from Terracross is going to be on the line. All that and more here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, and Joe Duncan on the line as well, kicking off our weekly Terracross segment.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Amy. How are you doing?
Pretty good. You know, just another week, same time slot every week. We got you dialed in here, buddy, and I don't know, just like old home week, I guess. What's been happening up there in the great state of Minnesota, other than everyone's favorite Prince passing away? I know my wife, being from Minnesota, man, she was a huge Prince fan. That I think took that everybody pretty hard.
Yeah, who isn't a Prince fan? And how about that incredible downtown Minneapolis, night after night, having that celebration of his life? I mean, that's pretty cool. He touched a lot of people.
Yeah, I saw.
Did you guys happen to see the James Stewart, I guess, memorial for Prince that he did? He dressed up as Prince and was kind of walking through the stadium last weekend. It was amazing. You guys got to head over to RacerX or James Stewart's Instagram and check it out. It's absolutely awesome. It's so cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I saw Terracross even threw up a Prince wrapped RZR onto social media, so I know you guys even get involved.
Yeah, our guys from Bad Endorsement designed up that RZR wrap in honor, and DeJean got that posted up on social media. Pretty cool deal. You know, from our home state here, it's, you know, these places probably 25 minutes from us, and yeah, pretty sad deal.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a legend. But that being said, we got to get on to some brighter topics here. But what's the latest from Terracross? I was just looking at things and going, man, we're getting pretty darn close, like less than 2 months out from having some RZRs in San Diego, possibly, right?
Yeah, we've got some things in the works with our San Diego Del Mar event. Hopefully, we'll be announcing here shortly. We've got working on Heydays. Actually, we got a site survey next week out at Heydays, and going to look at some upgrades and some cool things that are going to happen out there for their 50th anniversary. That's going to be a big one. If people want to get to a pretty cool event that's been around for 50 years, started with 2 snowmobiles in a frickin' hayfield, that's a fun one to be at.
Yeah, that's one. Even if I'm stoked Terracross is there, but even if Terracross wasn't there, I think now knowing what I know, I think it's something I'd like to put into my schedule to go to every year. It's just a cool event.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome event, and it's going to be just amazing this year with the 50th, and we got some big announcements for that we're working on with them to really blow that one up. It's going to be pretty cool. We just got back actually doing another Terracross test track build down in North Carolina, and we've got about 6-8 requests for people to have Terracross tracks where they can train on and test on, and we just built another one down in North Carolina, which was pretty cool. So flew down there, spent 4 days down there, actually went ripping on the Polaris slingshots, rode down to the beach one day because it rained, and we couldn't work on our course for a day. We had to let it dry out, so we jumped in a couple of slingshots. If you've never driven one, you got to get out and drive one. It's a little 3-wheeled sports car. It's amazing. We drove it down to the beach and went down and checked out Wrightsville, great little town, great little beach, and boogied on back. And needless to say, they can go faster than the speed limit.
Yeah, no kidding, right? No, if it was raining, though, I got to ask, you guys had Polaris slingshots out. You said it had rained. That means the roads were wet. Those things got to be a ton of fun with some wet pavement.
Well, she was dry on the way down. It rained the day before, so then the track was too muddy. It's a clay base, so it was too muddy to be able to build on. So we took the day off to let that dry and drove down in the sun. It was actually like 75, 78 degrees, sunny all the way down. On the way back, about halfway back on a 2.5-hour drive, we saw the clouds rolling in, and she got pretty dark, and we hit the rain for about a 20-25-minute stint. We were in a torrential downpour. The cool thing was the way that those machines are set up, it really didn't get us that wet because all the rain goes right up and over the windshield there. So, the visor got a little wet, but other than that, it wasn't bad at all. We just boogied right through it, and the sun broke out about a half hour later. So dried us right out and made for a great interesting trip back to the test track.
I love the Polaris slingshot. My boyfriend's family's dealership has a bunch, and he actually comes home almost every day now that the weather is nice and rolls into the driveway in the slingshot, and we go for some cruises and for ice cream and stuff around the city. But I love those things. They're so fun, and the coolest thing about it is when you're driving, I'm not kidding you, every single person who passes us rolls down their window and has to videotape or snap a photo, and everybody's wondering where you get these things. They're really, really popular. They're so sexy looking, but they're a lot of fun too. So
that's how it was the whole trip down and the whole trip back. People trying to one, keep up with us, and two, taking videos and photos and driving alongside of us, filming. It was pretty hysterical watching all the people because it's still relatively new item out there on the road, and a lot of people haven't seen them yet. But boy, when they do, they want to know more about it. Both gas stations we stopped at, one on the way down, one on the way back. Both of them, the people just came up and had to touch them, had to feel them, had to talk about them. And they're great, affordable vehicles. So pretty cool deal. And then we get back from our slingshot trip and get to jump in a Polaris RZR Turbo. Now the track had dried, and start testing some of the features. So kind of was a good couple of days.
Yeah, for sure. So Terracross this year, obviously, to explain to people, we've got, the national championship events that are televised, but you're trying this year to basically build it so you're going to have Terracross experiences around the country at different venues where it's not going to be televised, but you're going to still have a big group of the drivers in the series come out, do demos, have some demo races and stuff like that so fans can, get a feel for what Terracross actually is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we probably get a call a week from somebody that wants us to bring Terracross there, and as you know, Jimmy and Amy, our Terracross production is a pretty big production with CBS Sports Network and the full television package, and 50 plus amazing athletes that get to come and play with us, and we haul all the machines to every event, so it's not a cheap undertaking by any means. But there's a lot of places that want us to come and participate. So we've come up with a program where we can go to some of these places. We can bring some machines and some athletes and put on a great show, bring in locals with their Polaris Razors and side-by-sides and be able to run events, still do some cool stuff on site at the event with our partners and with local partners, and put on some cool events that's affordable, for people to be a part of. And, and that's kind of the exposure of TV, that drives that. And, we'll get a Facebook message or an Instagram message or an email, and it'll be like, hey, we want Terracross to come to our town. And, 9 times out of 10, it's pretty tough. But some of these places have, motocross facilities or racetracks or state fairs or something, and we're looking at those kind of options and making it affordable for them to have, our athletes and our Polaris Razors and our team, to come to some of those events without having to, fund the big project of the CBS Sports Network television, points championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to wind down we got to come up with a good name for this Terracross segment, Joe. We got to have like an official name for it, I think.
Terracross Tuesdays.
Terracross Tuesdays.
That's what I think Terracross Tuesday it is, because we already have that going on our social media. It's the perfect fit into that. So.
All right. Sounds like a plan. It is locked in. We are Terracross Tuesdays here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. We'll be back after this break.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Man, we are in the home stretch now. A couple of segments left in today's show, and this is going to be Amy Houde's favorite part of the show. I'm just going to put it out there. This is like the 12, 15 minutes of show that she looks forward to the most, where we get to talk Supercross, right, Houde?
Honestly, anything we can talk about two wheels is in my comfort zone. So,
yeah.
Wow, what a crazy weekend, too, we had in Supercross. I mean, it was awesome. Such a good race. I love seeing the podium getting shaken up and having new people on the top of the box. And we've been waiting for it all years to finally see somebody be able to take that crown away from Ryan Dungey. And only because, he's such an amazing rider. He's flawless. It just totally shakes things up when someone else can claim that top spot. And I got to give it to the man. Ken Roczen has been fighting every single weekend. And really, he's been improving every single weekend as well. And he got it done this weekend, and Eli Tomac also finishing second. So, and then Jason Anderson, again, finishing a comfortable fourth place. But, wow, what a great race.
Yeah, well, and I love Ryan Dungey. I'm a Ryan Dungey fan. I'll just throw it out there.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who really isn't. The guy's he's just a good dude. Let's put it that way.
He's the king of motocross.
Yeah.
I got to give it to him right now.
Like,
he is.
I'm not going to argue. Like, I don't know if I want to say fan, but I have absolute massive amounts of respect for Ryan Dungey. One, he's good.
You have a man crush on Ryan Dungey.
Yeah.
Don't lie.
Well, I don't know any guy that doesn't. So Levi LaValle posted something up, and I'm like, oh, shoot, he's got a man crush on Ryan Dungey too. So, but it's no, but seriously, I mean, the guy is just an animal. I like him. But it's good to see somebody else win.
It is. And, Ken Roczen has been the underdog all season. But he really did have a big monkey on his back, switching into the 450 class. He's had a struggle these last couple of years really being able to make his mark. We all thought he was going to jump out of the gate and claim that top spot right away. And it's taken him a couple of years to be able to figure it all out. But at the beginning of the season, I didn't feel like we saw the real Ken Roczen. It was a different guy out there on the track. He seemed very unhappy. And, this is just personally what I saw because I have known the kid for quite a long time before he even came over to America. He was always kind of wild and crazy. He always had a big smile on his face, having fun. He really put the fun into motocross and into riding in Supercross, and he had a lot of personality, and I felt like he was missing something this year, and I don't really know what it was, but, everyone is happy when they're on top, but it always seemed like if Ken had a bad race, he would still have that smile on his face, but I feel like Ken is back to where he's supposed to be, and I love seeing him on top, and I love seeing him being able to charge and challenge Ryan Dungey because it just makes for great racing. These last couple rounds, they've been having great battles. It's just good to see it. It's really good to see Eli Tomac again coming back off of an injury last year, being able to put it all together as well. And I'm a huge Eli Tomac fan, and it's been kind of hard. I've been a diehard Honda person forever, and now switching to Yamaha. I loved seeing him on a Honda, but I think he's where he belongs, and he's really trying to fill those shoes of Ryan Villapoto on that Kawasaki ride, and he's doing a good job, and I cannot wait to see Eli Tomac in outdoors. He's like a whole different breed of human. He seems to be able to find that seventh gear, and he's just an animal on the track and outdoors. And his conditioning and his training, his dad being a very decorative downhill mountain bike rider and bicycler, he has intensive training on the road bike, and his stamina is just above and beyond anybody else's. And, those last 3 laps, Eli Tomac seems to go faster at the end of the motos and outdoors. So I'm very, very excited, seeing that he's been able to kind of, find his confidence, figure things out on that Kawasaki. I think that he is going to be the guy to beat in outdoors. And it's coming up close. There's only a couple rounds left. I believe two more before outdoors, everything shifts into outdoors. But I'm excited. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I know big news coming out of the weekend or the end of last week. I don't know. I read it on social media, but James Stewart taking the rest of Supercross off starting this past weekend. And, it's gas on, game on for him at outdoors. And I don't know. I think that's the right decision. There was no reason for him to be.
And screw the haters. I love James Stewart. He's making the decision that best fits his lifestyle and, where he is comfortably and mentally and physically. And I don't understand why people hate on that. Like, are you James Stewart? Do you feel what he feels? I mean, he's been struggling physically. Let him do his thing. Let him come back 100%. We want to see James Stewart racing at 100%, especially in outdoors. So, I give him all the time that he needs. He'll be back with a vengeance. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would hate. I mean, he's been battling injury. Like, what's he going to accomplish in the in the next 2 rounds, or if you count the one this weekend in Boston? What is he? He's not going to accomplish anything. There's no reason for him to run him other than he could get injured again.
Yeah, exactly. But it is what it is. We had a really interesting 250 class, though. Again, got to give it to Martin Davalos. It's very unfortunate, his trouble he had coming into Canada for the Toronto Supercross round, being denied entrance into Canada, and unfortunately, with the points lead, having to sit out that round. Again, I always feel it's similar to what I feel like I'm going through right now, being, I'm just coming back into the season, and I've had a little bit of bad luck, 2 really big get-offs, hurting myself, but now I have a little bit of time off and time to kind of sit on the sidelines and reflect, similar to Martin Davalos, missing around. He really did come back with a vengeance, and that's how I feel like I want to, my first race of the year, I'm not really worried about it because when I get a little bit of time off and I'm not able to ride and train like the other people are, like I want to come back with a vengeance. And he got it done this weekend, that's for sure. What a great race for Martin Davalos, followed by Jeremy Martin and Stewart. It's been a really interesting 250 class for the East Coast. It's been a different lineup every weekend, and it's coming down pretty close for the points. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's. I got to say, I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm, 250 and West and East. I'm excited to see how things wrap up, but I got to say, this has got to be huge for Malcolm Stewart, to have it's just huge for him. To be out there, be out front, 5-point lead over Plessinger. It's, the whole Stewart family's got to be amped.
Aaron Plessinger, he finished 5th this weekend. But man, he has such a nice, comfortable second place finish. Those last 2 podium overall finishes really, secured that top 3 spot for this championship. And this is kind of his rookie year. He was out last year, kind of dabbled in a little bit of Supercross, really made his mark in outdoors though. So, the 2016 Supercross is really Aaron Plessinger's star performance, and he is doing a heck of a job. And I'm excited. It's definitely coming down to the wire, and that's what we like to see. Those battle to the finishes, the chase for the championship, going into that last round, it just keeps everything exciting. And again, these 2 riders weren't on the top of the box, yet they're at the top of the overall championship points. So it's really cool and really interesting. And those riders like Martin Davalos, who are sitting in 4th place, and Mikkel Rath, who is not quite in top 5 overall for points, really shake it up when they finish on the podium and make it almost for anybody's game. So it's quite an interesting East Coast Supercross this year for sure. So yeah. I'm loving it, and I can't wait to see the East-West shootout in Vegas in 2 weeks. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's like my favorite, part of the whole year. But here's a question for you. You're, I would say, you're a Supercross insider. I mean, you have a pretty good feel of what's going on. I mean, Stewart takes this 250 championship. We've seen him on 450s in the past, here and there, like one-off events and things like that. He takes this 250 East championship. What are the odds we see him on a 450 next year?
Hands down, definitely. I mean, he's a big dude.
Yeah, that's it. He can handle a 450,
He's definitely someone who's going to be able to manhandle a 450 with ease. So I really do think that we'll see Malcolm Stewart. I don't know about outdoors. I know he wants to, you kind of want to, you don't want to lead off on such a high. Like, I think he's going to have an extremely successful outdoor, championship in the 250s, and he has lots of competition. I know he's going to want to go after Jeremy Martin and Cooper Webb for sure. And they're all friends and they're all competitors. So I think there's going to be a very heated and battle every single weekend between those 3 riders: Stewart, Martin, and Cooper Webb. And we can't leave out Aaron Plessinger coming off. Again, he's only 5 points behind Malcolm Stewart. This could be Aaron Plessinger's East Coast Supercross Championship as well. So, I don't want to – I love both of them. I think they're both, great riders, great personalities, but they're also super good friends. Like, how Malcolm Stewart dropped his bike and did the dance on the, after Aaron had got his first win. Like, he just shows amazing sportsmanship. But, the cool thing about racing against your friend is it makes for some really interesting battles. They ain't afraid to kind of bump each other in the corner because they know they're, not really – going to be mad at each other at the end of the day. So I think if going into outdoors, this is probably 2016 Outdoor Series is going to be one of the most interesting championships, to date. I really do think there's so many talented and, it's almost anybody's game. It's going to be a great year. I hope everybody stays healthy and it'll make for a great racing season. Yep. I'm excited. I love outdoors. I'm much more of an outdoors girl. It's so physically demanding, and you see completely different personalities of riders, what they're truly capable of. So it's cool.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to outdoors as well. And we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Amy Houde and I, we're going to be answering your fan questions here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, Jim Beaver, Amy Houde. We are in the home stretch, and this is one of my favorite parts of the show. We got, about 14, 15 minutes here, and it's just Jim Beaver, Amy Houde in the raw, taking your questions and chatting, and I don't know, this is my favorite way to wrap the show up. I don't know about you, Amy.
Oh, totally. I love talking to the fans.
Yeah. So I
being put on the spot, too.
What's that?
Surprisingly, I love being put on the spot, too.
Yeah, so I get these in, and today I got a direct message on Twitter. I got 2 through the website. 1 through the website, it looks like it went to both you and I. 1 just went directly to me, and then I got a DM on Instagram. But I don't, unless you guys go tag us both, or if you go through the website and send it to both Amy and I, she doesn't get them, and I don't tell her what I'm going to ask just because it makes it more entertaining that way. So,
great.
Yeah, so no, she literally has no idea. But once again, if you want to shoot fan questions at Jim Beaver 15, at Amy Houde 71, and I'll ask anything. If you can ask anything, unless it's like, just way below the belt and something ridiculous, like I'll pretty much ask anything. You can put me on the spot. Like I don't care. You guys can shoot over whatever, and Amy's the same way. Unless it's.
I'm gonna tell it how it is.
What's
That's
that?
For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to tell it how it is.
Yeah. So first one was actually some positive feedback. So I thought I would. It was on last week's show, and I know we didn't get to do questions last week. So I know we didn't get to do questions last week. So I wanted to read this, but it was pretty cool. Just once in a while you get some positive feedback, so it's kind of nice. But this is from Connor Paris. Similar experience. Hey, Mr. Beaver, I got around to Mr. Beaver. Whoa, this is that's my dad or my grandpa. I don't know. That's just got around to listening to last week.
That's a boy with manners.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Connor, I like you, man. But you can call me Jimmy. Just got around to listening to last week's show. I had a chuckle when you were talking about going through a drive-thru and being asked to rev your engine. I'm in the Air Force and used to work on the elite gate guard section at Andrews Air Force Base. There's a lot of nice cars that came through every day. There's a whole lot of rank here, and I would always ask them to rev their engines. Notably, a Challenger Hellcat when they were just released. I own a Fiesta ST. And asked a few times to give it a good rev. Had an obnoxious blow-off valve that everybody loved. I know that's what they were asking for when I was in the drive-thru. Just thought it was funny. We had similar experiences at the window. Keep up the good work. So that's what I like hearing, man. I love hearing from you guys, like stuff like that. That makes my day. Like literally, Connor, you made my day, buddy. And you're in the Air Force, dude. Thank you for your service. I appreciate it. Stoked to have military listen to the show. I dig it.
And thanks for having my country's back to say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's funny. United States and Canada. I mean, we're like brother and sister. It's kind of weird. It's just.
But we're just like the goofy hockey players, and you guys save our butts from stuff. So yeah,
Oh, geez. So this one was sent, I think, like a week and a half ago. We just didn't get to questions last week. Had too many guests, so it's kind of weird. It's like we have a week on, a week off, where we have like a massive amount of guests and then a little bit of downtime. And I know like the next 2 weeks, especially with Supercross kicking off, in Vegas. Like, we've got massive amounts. I can be public with it now. I talked with Pastrana up there at Oregon, and we've been trying to get him dialed in for like a month now, and he's definitely sometime in the next month going to be on the show. So it's been like a year and a half since I've had like Pastrana in for a sit-down. I'm really looking forward to it now that he's off Red Bull and he's full-time Nitro Circus and doing some rally stuff, and they got Nitro Circus games coming up. And he's not doing X Games this year. He's actually running STPR Rally instead of being an X Games. Like, we got a lot to talk about, Travis, Amy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
I have to pick his wife's brain. She's such a badass mom, and she still continues to, be very heavily involved in the sports and being a mom. I would love to get her online and, really pick her brain and talk to her.
Yeah.
Lindsay's awesome.
I've never had Lindsay on either. So
I strive to be Lindsay, okay? Like, that's my mom that I look up to. She's so cool.
Yeah, Lindsay's rad. Like, no, I've never had her on the show either. I should reach out and see if we can get her dialed in. Because, I've had Travis a ton of times and just about everybody at Nitro Circus, but I've never had Lindsay. I think that's one we got to make happen for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, anyways, we got to get these commercials or we're run out of time. You and I get talking, and then it's like shenanigans. Mikey Roberts shot this one over like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I'm going to add my own spin on it. His question is if you guys, aimed at both of us, if we go to any race in the world of any sort, which one would we go to and watch? And I'm going to say this. We can both answer that, but I'm going to put my own spin on it. If we could go and race any race in the world, which one would we go to?
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
Two-part question. Which one do you want to go and spectate at, and which one do you want to drive or race or ride your bike yourself? So you can go first.
Okay, so for watching, it would have to be actually the East-West Shootout in Vegas. And I sadly am going to be missing it this year because it's my first race of the year, but I absolutely love that round. It's so cool, the atmosphere. There's so much stuff going on in the pits. It's just one of my favorite events of the year, hands down, and it's always cool to see the cutthroat battles between the East and West guys. But, again, we're in Las Vegas. It's the last round. All the guys kind of, throw their gear to the side and have a drink, chill out, have a good time after the race, and the atmosphere is really, really cool with all the riders also, and it's the end of the year banquet. Everyone's dancing, having a good time, gambling. It's probably one of my favorite events of the year. I've gone for many, many years, but one that I want to race, and we've been talking about this. Actually, I hear that they may be having dirt bikes at the Mid 400 next year, and if they do, 200% I will be racing that event because I love being a spectator. Jim, you gave me the opportunity to come and actually check out the Mid 400 the last 2 years in a row, but I hate being a spectator. I want to participate, and if they bring bikes there, I can't miss that race. I want to be involved, for sure.
For sure, absolutely. That's too top-notch. Both of them in Vegas. You must like Vegas or something.
I love Vegas, okay? I'm like a different person in Vegas, and it's just one of those places that there's so much to do. The weather's always beautiful. One of my best friends, Jackie's from there. A lot of my friends come over from California. Vegas is just a great place to have a good time, and I love it. I love hanging out in hotels and pools and having fun. That's what it's about.
All right. I think for me, and this one I've always wanted to go to, and this is totally not what anyone would expect, but the Formula One Grand Prix in Monaco and Monte Carlo, where they race around the harbor and there's all the yachts. And what drives me nuts, so my friend Lindsay Orridge that we had on air like 2 months ago from Europe, right? So Lindsay has her company Motorsport Collective, right? They're doing something here, and it's over Memorial Weekend here, the end of May. Monte Carlo Grand Prix always is. They're doing something on a yacht in the harbor there, and watching the Formula One Monte Carlo or Grand Prix there. And if I was actually there, I'm invited to that party, and I'm like talk about. I mean, that would be like a $10,000 trip for me. But to watch Formula One in Monte Carlo from a yacht, that is my dream right there. That's what I want to do if I'm going to spectate.
Well, can we not make it happen? Like, I want to go.
Yeah, now you're like, oh, I want in on this, a yacht in the harbor. Yeah,
I changed my answer.
Yeah. So no, well, yeah, I'll make you a deal. If I ever make that happen, we'll definitely bring you along. Shoot, we're gonna have to do radio if I'm actually at a Formula One race or something. We're gonna have to do something. But that's for spectating. For driving, oh man, this is interesting. It's just I don't even want to say which event, but I've tested Red Bull Global Rallycross cars. I would love to race. I would love to race a rallycross event in a properly funded rallycross car, whether it be in World Rallycross or Red Bull Global Rallycross. I've always said, like, people have asked me, hey, if you could race anything, what do you think you'd be best at? And I've got a lot of experience on, I wouldn't say racing experience on tarmac, but I've got a lot of driving experience on tarmac. Obviously, my dirt background, like rallycross, I go up to Dirtfish a lot. Like, it fits my driving style very well. I would love to race a supercar in either GRC or World Rallycross sometime. But it's got to be a proper one. I don't want some also-ran car that's going to get, not even qualified for the main. I mean, I want a proper Subaru or something, like a factory car to go and drive. But I think I could do very well in that. So, that would, if I could race any race, shoot any rallycross race, just call me Subaru. Let me wheel for Bucky.
Yeah, I got to add to my answer because of just, thinking about it as a little girl, and this is dreaming big, but as a little girl, I actually always had the goal to race the Dakar. I don't ever see myself, I don't even know why, like, it was just, my dad always talked about the Dakar every year. We'd watch it on TV and, follow the highlights and stuff, but I always thought it was just such a prestige race, and it was something that I always thought that I could and was going to do. So, maybe to kind of fulfill that childhood dream, I should be really setting my sights to, attempt the Dakar. And again, I don't go thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to win, I'm going to finish, or I'm going to kick everybody's butt. Like, it's just a race that you want to say that you lined up and been a part of. And, the fact that I've raced for 23 years, I feel like I'm obligated, and it's my duty to do a ton of different styles of racing so I can, have these experiences to pass along and really share with everybody, full circle about the opportunities that you can have racing a dirt bike or a motorcycle. And the Dakar is just one of those that when I was a little girl, I thought I was going to race the Dakar. So maybe that's something I got to do.
Yeah, I would love to do Dakar. It's just, I know the cost of entry there. If you don't have $150,000 in your pocket, you can't even attempt to go there. So I've always just felt it's out of reach for me, but I would love to go.
Well, maybe I'll get sponsored by an Arabian prince, and we'll fall in love, and he'll pay for me to race the Dakar. What do you know?
Well, if you guys fall in love, I mean, you might, and it's an Arabian prince, you can just fund a ride for me too. So.
Okay, deal.
All right. All right, we got like, we're running short on time here. 2 minutes left, so we got two questions, so we're going to make it quick. First one, our good friend, longtime listener, Gwen. Gwen, she shot a DM over, says, what's up with all the commercials, and can we get more short course drivers on? To cut to the chase, short course, yes, short course is kicking off now with definitely, especially with Torque coming up. We'll start having a lot of short course drivers on for both Lucas and Torque. I know the off-season we didn't have hardly any, but it was off-season. It was just, there's different stuff going on. But, yeah, we're definitely going to get
I like that. I like that she requested, particular types of drivers. Great question. And, of course, if it's something you want to hear, we're going to give it to you.
Yeah, for sure. And then the commercials, I know you're a longtime listener. She's been here since day one. Commercials are different now, but it's because we're in national syndication networks across the country, and I have no control over when we take commercial breaks. We just take them. So it's just the way
we pay the bills.
Yeah, exactly. It's the way it rolls, and I'm sorry about that. I know you've been here since day one when we had one 60-second commercial break on a 2-hour show, and things have definitely changed. All right, last question. This one is from Gregory in Atlanta, and he says, I want to start an auto racing podcast. Do you guys have any tips? I don't know, man. If you're going to do it, podcasts are tough to get into. I was lucky when I got in and started this show. It was a podcast/online radio show. Nobody was really into it yet. So I got in and didn't have much competition. Market is saturated. If you're going to do it, I'm not going to say don't do it. I'm just going to say be prepared to grind it out and just talk.
Be different.
Be different.
Yes,
if
you want to set yourself apart in a very saturated market, you got to bring something different to the table, man. And if you're creative and can think outside of the box, you can make it happen. Just if it's a dream of yours, make it happen.
Yeah, I agree. Make it happen and be different and grind it out. Just start talking, man. Just pump out content. Sooner or later, people are going to start listening in. But we got to take a short commercial break. When we come back, Amy Houde and I, we're going to be wrapping things up here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
I'm Polaris rider Levi Valley, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. A couple minutes left. Jim Beaver, Amy Houde here, wrapping up yet another show. And I got to say, I about killed myself during that break. You know how last week you dumped like yogurt all over yourself? I go to reach for my Red Bull, and there's the corner of the desk here, and I hit my funny bone right on it, and I about died. It was like a huge whack. I'm like, oh my gosh.
The funny bone ain't very funny, is it?
No, it's
It's not.
yeah. That's.
I don't know why they did false advertising on that terminology.
Yeah, it's definitely killing me right now. But yeah, yet another fun show. Ryan Beat, great catching up with him. And I don't know, what do you got on tap this week, Houde?
I am trying to heal up right now. Actually, I can't really do too much stuff, so hopefully I'm gonna head back to the doctor and see if I'm all cleared and. I want to get riding, man. I got this sexy bike in my garage that's just chilling. She's crying. She wants to be ridden.
Yeah, you all that nice new plastic. It's all scratched up. You got to get some new vinyl on there, right?
I have to get a whole new both side number plates and rear fender.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my poor bike.
Well, you're lucky nothing else happened though. I mean, other than that, all the structure, the frame, and everything's good, right?
Yeah, and you know what? It's fun because I'm built like my dad. We're built like bricks. we hit the ground hard, but we just bounce and don't break. And it helps them flexible and work out and, take care of yourself. So as an athlete, it's very important to, be physically fit so you can hit the ground and take a beating. But, yeah, man, I just bounce. I'm good. I don't break. Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood for sure.
There you
Yeah,
go.
we're both knocking on wood. All right, we got Supercross coming up this weekend. Best in the Desert a couple of weeks out. Obviously, NORRA Mexican 1000 going on. World Rallycross. We got Lucas Oil. We got Torque. Man, stuff in the summer is going to get to be off the hook. Stuff literally coming every weekend. But got to give a shout out to Polaris Razor, General Tire, Subaru, KCI Lights, Gibson Exhaust, Dirtfish, MTX, Terracross. My buddies at Wakeboard Island and Blue Water Resort and Casino. Follow me at JimBeaver15 on Instagram and Twitter. It's at AmyHood71 on Instagram and Twitter. Both of us are on Facebook as well. All those back episodes at downanddirtyshow.com. Download our app, available on Apple, iTunes, Google Play. And sounds like Amy has a new website she's going to register here for her video series, Babe Cave. So definitely check that out as well. And I don't know, signing off here, Amy. You got anything before we go?
No, I'm just head over to youtube.com/OneLifeAmy and check out my new episode of The Babe Cave on how to load your bike. And it's pretty funny because Michelle totally ate it because she doesn't have a truck. So this was her first time trying to load a bike and she had a little bit of a fail. But she tapped it out and she figured it out. So go head over to YouTube and check it out.
All right. We will see you guys next week here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.